cannot tell you how many times I've seen students make simple mistakes in IELTS writing that have brought down their scores. And these mistakes weren't even language related. They were just simple misunderstandings of the test or misunderstandings of the scoring. So in this video, I'm going to teach you 7 IELTS writing mistakes that you need to avoid in your IELTS test. Now in this video, we're going to look at the top 7 mistakes students make on test day for writing task 2. Let's get started and look at the first major mistake. Mistake number 1, not varying your sentence types. In IELTS writing task 2, you've scored on your grammatical range, as well as your grammatical accuracy. This means that you have to use a variety of sentence types or you will be penalized heavily for grammar. Even if every single sentence is perfectly accurate, if the sentences themselves are not varied, you'll be penalized. In fact, if you don't use different sentence types in your writing, this goes both for task 1 and task 2, the highest score you can get for grammar is 4, even if it's perfectly accurate. So this will bring down your entire writing score. Let me explain a little bit further. These are the writing criteria the examiners use when they're marking your writing. Every IELTS examiner must follow these guidelines in order to give you your score. As you can see, you're marked in 4 main ways, from 0 to 9. One of the ways that you're marked is grammatical range and accuracy. Notice the word range there. And if you take a close look at a band score of 4, it says uses only a very limited range of structures. So to overcome the limited range of structures issue, you must write a variety of sentence types. These sentence types should include simple sentences, compound sentences, complex sentences, compound complex sentences, if sentences, not sentences, and maybe even a question sentence or 2. So to avoid mistake number 1, you need to include a range of sentence types. Okay, mistake number 2 is not including subordinate clauses. This mistake is related to the first mistake, but it's a little bit more particular and a major issue for many struggling candidates. So we just looked at the band score of 4 for grammatical range and accuracy, where it said uses only a very limited range of structures. But what about this part with only rare use of subordinate clauses? My feeling is that this little statement is the main reason people flunk IELTS writing, rare use of subordinate clauses. Most people don't know what this means, and so they're oblivious to its importance, and they don't realize that if they get a 4 here, it will bring down their entire score. The easiest way to avoid rare use of subordinate clauses is to write some sentences, maybe 3 or 4, that start with or are coordinated by one of these subordinating conjunctions. These are words like after, although, as if, as long as, because, before, if, in order that, etc. Pause the video and take a close look at how you can use these words in a sentence to create a subordinate clause. Or another way to create a subordinate clause is to use one of these relative pronouns in your sentence. These include words like who, which, that, or whose. So you can avoid mistake number 1 and 2 by purposely varying the sentence types you use and adding in some of those keywords I just showed you so that you include subordinate clauses. This way, as long as your grammar is accurate, you can expect a score of 7 or 8 plus. Mistake number 3, not getting writing feedback. All right, so we've just seen 2 examples of how easily you can unknowingly bring down your test score on test day. I mean, who would know that by not including subordinate clauses in your essay, that the highest grammar score you can get is 4? Mistake number 4, writing less than 250 words or more than 350 words. The only thing you need to remember about word count in writing task 2 is to write more than 250 words. And if you're taking the computer-delivered test, that's fine because there's a word counter on the screen. But if you're taking the paper-based test, this can get a little bit tricky because you might have to count your own words. I took the paper-based test once and accidentally wrote under the word count and then realized and quickly had to write another paragraph. It was a tragedy. So if you're taking the paper-based IELTS test, make sure you write at least 250 words. But what about writing way over the word count? Is this going to help you out? Is this going to help you to get a higher score? I don't think so. You see, if you take the computer-delivered IELTS, it's easy to write way more than 250 words. In fact, some people can type up to 400 or 450 words for their essay. This is a complete waste of time. It's unnecessary. I'd recommend typing around 300, maybe 350 words max, and making sure that what you write is quality. Remember to write quality over quantity. The IELTS examiners will agree.